Thank you so much, Twyla. Yes, very uncomfortable, not only once a day, maybe 10 times a day. And I want to thank to each of you that you came to our meeting tonight because we were talking about moments of truth and we have great attendance. How many of you already heard a speech about moments of truth in the past? So there is not even 50%. I personally believe each club member should actually understand what is it moments of truth. Before I start sharing my PowerPoint, I want to ask you, how many of you have favorite restaurant? I think each of us. And if you can unmute yourself and tell me a couple of things, why do you go to that restaurant?
The food is fabulous and the service is top notch.
Great.
Great service and the food.
Anything else?
I go to Chianti's because they have one dish that I've never been able to find that's as good anyplace else. It's called spaghetti alla matriciana.
Write it down.
Every time I go.
Write it down. We'll go there. I love it because each of you said something different. So some of you love fresh food. Some of you has specific food. Some of you like how you are being welcomed at the restaurant and what kind of service you have. What is Toastmasters or the moments of truth? It's exactly the same thing. Moments of Truth is an episode where a person comes in contact with any aspect of the Toastmasters experience and forms an impression of a club quality service. Let me share something with you. I remember when I came for very first time to our club, I was so terrified, not only of public speaking, but actually meeting with new people. Why? Because I didn't know even what kind of conversation to start. And I remember when I walked into the door, I was shaking and trembling. And the cute small lady opened the door, she smiled at me and she says, "Welcome, you are our new guest." And I thought, wow, how did she know I'm coming? And her name was Rhonda. Some of you already remember Rhonda from the past. I am a member for almost 8 years in our club. And Rhonda said, "Here you go, have a seat, take a seat wherever you want. My name is Rhonda." She said what kind of club officer she is, and she introduced me to people who were sitting there. And I felt like I belong. I felt like I was in this club before. So let me share with you, Toastmasters has 6 moments of truth. First impression, membership orientation, fellowship variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, and last but not least, achievement recognition. So we'll go through each of them. First impression, as I said, is when we have new guests. I know we are on Zoom right now, but I'll be sharing tonight in-person meeting and on Zoom meeting. As I told you, when I walked into that room, I had no clue what I'm going to do, what will be expected from me. And when Rhonda invited me or greeted me so warmly, I felt like I belonged. Suddenly the stress fell off me, off my shoulders. I knew there is something waiting for me that I will have to speak or say something, but I wasn't worried as much because I felt I have a friend in Toastmasters Club. Another thing I want to acknowledge in our club, what we have really good is Alec is always bringing on the table in the club guest book. So when we have guests, he always kindly asks them if they can put their name, if they can put their email and phone number so we can follow up with them. This really makes the impression on our members that we want to actually connect with them even after the meeting. Our rooms are always professionally arranged. So as you remember, some of you have never been in our club yet. We have a beautiful big space and we have 4 huge round tables where we sit around the tables. I saw in the different clubs, they have U-shaped tables and lectern is always in the center. Now on the Zoom meeting, we cannot do that. But what we want to try to be professional when people come to the meeting. So it's not just some kind of chat, but we definitely want to have fun, but we want to make sure that our members feel like everything is well organized. So convenient meeting location. I believe our club has incredible location in Chaparral. Chaparral, it's on southeast community, and we have lots of new communities coming around the club, so we can get lots of new members. But now we have even better opportunity to bring new friends, new family members to our club because we are on Zoom. They don't have to travel anywhere, so there is always pluses and minuses to everything, but there is really no excuses. We can have people even in this convenient location. We always have to make sure in the first impression that we give word as well to our members, because as you know, we are getting used to our public speaking and leadership skills. But as a member, when I came to our Toastmasters, really, I didn't want to talk. I really wanted to be quiet in the corner, and I was just praying so nobody asks me a question. Even just tell my name, I thought I'm going to run away from the room. But what we have to make sure that we ask our guests to address our club. What did they think about our meeting? So if our meeting is running too long, we have to make sure that we cut something else, let's say table topics, but we have to make sure we give a word as well to our guests. And very important thing, we cannot forget to ask our member or guest to join our meeting. Because I remember in some clubs when I attended actually before our club Pacesetters, there was no question if I would like to join. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's only for people who are working in the building, because I went to professional buildings for a 1-hour meeting. So it's very important. I'm taking away from those meetings, we have to offer them opportunity and let them know they have a chance to come to the meeting for 3 times as our new guests. And after 3 meetings, they can decide either they join or they go and research different clubs, what they think, and they can find out their first impression from different clubs. Second point is membership orientation. Formal induction. Some of us, we already went through formal induction. And what does it mean? As a new member, we try to do it at least every 3 to 6 months. It depends how many new members we have. And what do we do in front of the room? Usually it's in person. We've never done it online. We ask our members for such a small promise. We ask them to read something from the paper and promise that they will be attending meetings as often as they can. What else we do is we ask them to say that they will prepare for the role. And from us as members, what we promise, we will be in support, full support. We will be giving them constructive feedback. So that's the formal induction. And it's actually a fun process. Each of our guests, you don't have to be worried. You will not know what to do, because you will get, or you will be assigned a mentor. Who is a mentor? I remember first time I was supposed to mentor somebody. I thought, me? I'm here only 6 months. What can I mentor somebody on? I really I did only 3 speeches or 4 speeches. I didn't know how to mentor. But again, remember, we have people in the club who can help us. And through mentoring, we are learning different skills. So don't be afraid to step into a mentor role. And if you've done table topics or Toastmasters or chairperson, just with small step, you can mentor what you learned in the club. And I will share all websites, what we have, where you can find many information. Speaking roles. Don't be afraid to take on speaking role or icebreaker. Take it forward. And if you don't, we will nudge you and we will let you know that you have to take on, or you should be able to take on first icebreaker. Member involved in club activities. We have all kind of activities happening, especially when we are in person. We have all kind of gatherings. I'll be talking more about Halloween parties and things like that. So we want all members to be involved. Some of you already received my survey. Those were club officers. I sent survey to all club officers, but I will be sending in next couple of weeks survey to all members. I just want to make sure that I can lead the club and our club officers the best way we can. We really want to support you. We want to know what we can do better, what we are actually doing really good, and we can even enhance and make it even better. Third point is fellowship, variety, and communication. I talked about guest greeting warmly. I didn't say how to do it online, but today Vesna gave you a great example. The same thing with Zonka. They were greeting already our guests right at the beginning of the meeting, because again, I believe when somebody's on the camera, we don't feel comfortable for very first time in front of 20 people. So I like how they spoke and they said hello and welcomed them really nicely. Our meetings are enjoyable and educational. It's not only about constant education, but our goal is as well that members leave or guests will leave and they'll say, I want to go back. Remember the food at the beginning? I want each of the person who comes to our club so they feel, wow, there is something. I don't know what was that, but I want to go back. I want to get more. Regularly scheduled social events. Now, I want to mention that Easter is coming. Oh, sorry, not Easter. Halloween is coming and Christmas is coming. So what do we do again in person in the club? We have costumes, we have potluck. So really we do lots of different social events plus meeting together. So it's fun. We want to go back. Participation in area, district and international events. Next week, we have in our club contests. Some of you volunteer to compete. And for those of you who don't compete, you know what? No worries, because we need judges, we need volunteers, we need ballot counters. And if you are not familiar with anything like that, we need audience. So don't be afraid to come and just listen and learn from that, because it will give us courage to speak in front of more people. Now, area, district, and international events, they need the same thing. So I highly encourage each of you to take on that role and go ahead and take something new, something that you can challenge yourself and you're not comfortable with. Open house. Once a year, we have in our club open house. What does it mean? We can bring people in to see, without any commitments, to see what's happening. How is our club running the meeting every week? I have to acknowledge our VP of Public Relations, Natasha. She's doing our newsletters, website updates, and always new great TikTok posts that I enjoy very much. And she's doing updating as well our meetings and other things. So now what you can do, take a screenshot or write it down. Our 3 most important websites, D42TM, you can find so much information there. If you cannot figure something out, I always call Vesna or Twyla and they say, just go to D42TM, or they always explain, they have always time for me. So I'm really thankful. Then Calgary Pacesetters website and Facebook page. Next point is program planning and meeting organization. Here I want to give shout out to our VP of Education, Alison. She always prepare our agenda in advance. We always try to do agenda at the end of the meeting, but sometimes we cannot fit all the roles because some people are missing. So what you can do, get on TurboBase. So for those of you who are members, I believe you already know how to log in. For guests, no worries. You will get all that information later and you can choose role what you want for the next meeting. And Alison always sends the agenda on Tuesday morning or afternoon, so you will have it always in advance. Members are prepared to carry out all program assignment. So tonight we were missing some roles, and look at that. We have such an incredible team in our club that we always step in. Rocio took a speech tonight. That's almost impromptu speech. So great. I'm so happy, Rocio, you are doing that. All projects are pathways projects. In the past, we used to have manuals. Now everything is online. It's so convenient. Again, you will have be assigned with mentor, and that mentor will take you through pathways. If you don't have mentor yet and you want to start and get your hands on it, just go to toastmasters.org and click on pathways, and the Toastmasters will help you to choose the path. So you will have several questions you answer and they will navigate you what path you can take on. This is the most important thing, I believe, for every Toastmasters club. Myself, when I go somewhere, I like to know when we start, when we finish. Our meetings always start with Carson. He always let us know 3 to 5 minutes ahead when we are starting. This is really crucial for moments of truth, because I learned when somebody lives far away from meeting, if we need to attend in person, when they live far away and they attend and we are going 5 to 10, even 20 minutes later, they will not want to attend again because they say, well, I'm driving here for 30 minutes. Meeting it's 2 hours, then half an hour longer. Well, driving back, it's taking me almost 4 hours of my day. So what do we have to make sure? Finish it. Start it at the beginning on time and finish it on time. Creative table topics. Again, huge shout out to several of you who already did table topics, and you try always figure something new. We've done table topics in the past, like Vesna, I remember she was doing it in different languages. Can you imagine? In different languages. So it's very interactive. Positive and helpful evaluations. Our club always gives great feedback, not only good things, what we've done, but as well something constructive, what we can improve on. And that's very important, because if somebody tells me, well, you're so good in speaking, well, you know what? I didn't take anything from that, because I want to improve as well. So I want to know, tell me, what did I do good so I can enhance on it, and what I can improve on. So this is very important, even to give small evaluation to our guests. Membership strength. I'm so happy we are 21 plus today, because great meetings are when it's 20 members and more. It happened in our club that we had even 15, 16 people. It never happened over the last 8 years that we had less than 13 people. I've never experienced that, and I always write it down. So we have always chance, each of us, to speak. This is very important. Again, when our guests come in to the club and there is only 5 people, and those 5 people are taking all the roles, well, for guests, it's like, should I join? If I will be taking 3, 4 roles, I need to learn. So we have really active club in that way. Members are retained, as I said earlier. Again, let's go to the restaurant. How can we retain those clients or members? If we give them something that they can look forward to. Promoting our club or the Toastmasters community. Wherever I go, I always talk about Toastmasters. My work team, I'm not talking now about Toastmasters, I'm talking about my work. I coach them even to evaluate their own webinars, what they are teaching. So, or all our leaders, they are evaluating each other. All, not all, I think I have 3, my team leaders who started Toastmasters in their country, because I cannot stop talking about Toastmasters, how it helped me, not only in speaking, but as well in leadership skills. And I believe my members or my leaders, they can see that as well. DCP membership goal is talked about in our club. What is DCP? It's Distinguished Club Program. This is very important, because as a club, we can achieve so much more together. We need people who are attending events, who are attending programs like club officers. All of you, I acknowledge each of you who already is going through pathway 1, 2, and 3. But I would like to ask each of you, let us know, what is your goal, so we can bring our club to the next level and get our Distinguished Club ribbon. This is very important for our club. Achievement recognition. Every meeting we do recognition with ribbons. So we are going to do the best table topics, the best evaluator, and the best speaker. Each of you who wins the speaking contest will get ribbon, and icebreaker will get pins and pens. Now, after you finish your level, you will receive certificate. All awards are entered into Toastmasters database regularly when our members will finish their speeches. Club and member achievements are publicized, where usually on social media, or some of the members in our club were already even in our Toastmasters magazine, which is really exciting. And DCP is used for planning and recognition. Now, my question to you is, does our club meet all standards or all moments of truth? So whatever I was explaining right now, first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship, program planning, membership strength, and achievement recognition, ask yourself, do we meet those standards in our club? Now, let me tell you one more short story. When I came to Toastmasters, I was so terrified of public speaking that I was fainting, literally fainting, not in the club, but outside of the club. I just wanted to speak in front of 2-3 people and feel comfortable and not sweat and not be scared. But you know what? Not only our Toastmasters, but Toastmasters will take you beyond. If you're patient, I can promise to you that it's not only about public speaking, because the longer you are in Toastmasters, you realize, wow, now I need to step into leadership skill. And all different opportunities will be presented to you, either work-wise or family, some kind of events. And when you are even longer, you take on leadership skills, you realize that you can actually help other people to grow. I wanted to stay only because of myself, but the longer I stayed, I thought, wow, I have actually a tool in my hands that I can help somebody else. And from that, you create amazing contacts and a community or amazing friendships. So it's not only about my public speaking, but it's about way more beyond me. Now, that's why I would like to say, help your club be the best it can be, because you will never get a second chance to make a first impression. Madam Toastmaster.